Hello and welcome to the Kismet Podcast. My name is Carina and today I have our first exec in the room, Nat Kramersh. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. Thanks for having me.
It is so lovely to have you here. You're our first exec. You're kicking us off. I can't wait to chat. Can you give us a very brief rundown of what you do at Kismet, please?
Sure. So at Kismet, my role is Chief Operating Officer. So essentially, I guess what that is turning the strategic vision into day-to-day execution. So I oversee the daily operations, our service delivery, customer experience, how all of our providers and everyone in our network experiences our service, and then also look after service delivery and growth. So yeah, It's an exciting role and yeah, I love it.
Lots going on at the moment too. Yeah. There's so much, all the time. There's so much happening all the time. So it's really exciting. So usually at this point, I would ask how you made your way to Kismet, but I would like to sort of go further back with you, if you don't mind, and just have a chat about your career journey in general, because it's slightly different potentially than what people might expect. Yeah. So can you maybe give us a rundown of how things kicked off? You graduated high school, you move into uni, and then what happens from there?
Yeah, sure. So I didn't really know what to do after school. So I thought commerce, very generalist. I thought, I knew I wanted to get into the business kind of corporate world. So went down that path. And then after uni or throughout uni, I did quite a few different internships, see what I liked, and ended up getting a really great job in people and culture at a consulting firm, which kind of incorporated a lot of different elements that I was looking for, which was really that problem solving, learn about all different types of businesses, strategy, the problems that they're facing. And from the people and culture perspective, that was always something I was quite interested in. I ended up being there for about 4.5, 5 years, and I had an amazing experience there and learned so much. And I really think it set me up for kind of that next step with Kismet.
Yeah, awesome. So you finished high school and you mentioned that there wasn't sort of a specific direction that you were hoping to go down. So how did you come to figure out where you wanted to go? How did you find working in that culture and HR space, I suppose?
Yeah, I knew I was passionate about business and entrepreneurship, and I really just wanted to solve problems. And so I was always quite, business minded in that sense. And then I guess through networking and chatting to different people, I started learning a bit more about HR and people and culture, and was kind of advised to look at that as a potential pathway. It might be something I could be good at, and did some internships in that space and actually really loved it. And I thought it was a great way to also learn a lot about the internal workings of business. So that was, a great experience, and I loved it. Quite different to what I'm doing now, but it was a really good kind of entry path, I think.
What was that process like, you would have seen so much in that position. What was that like for you dealing with people so intensely in that space? Because often you hear people go to HR when they have a problem, right? Yeah. So it's rarely that you get to deal with people on a good day. What did you learn from that experience of needing to sort of deal with problems from people most days, every day?
Yeah, I mean, it had its challenges at times, but my role also turned into being a bit more of like that strategic people and culture, strategic operations, which I did prefer that side of it more. And that's what kind of led me to explore more so operations and chief of staff kind of roles. I just found that I was definitely thriving more in that broader problem-solving strategy space than day-to-day kind of HR.
And there was, in our chat that we have before we get into the studio, you mentioned that there was an initiative at your previous job about taking leaps of faith or sort of getting out of your comfort zone. And I wonder if you could tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, sure. So at this last company I was at, there was a women's leadership program for the kind of emerging female leaders at the company. And so I took part in that. That's coming up to, I was thinking about it last night, I think 3 or 4 years ago now. Wow. And it was several weeks long, but something that really resonated with me throughout the program was this idea of taking leaps. So doing something completely out of your comfort zone, challenging yourself. And I kind of just took it to the next level and decided, I made this commitment to myself at that point in time that I'm going to do a leap a week. And I wrote them down and I stuck to it. And every week it was just I had to do something completely out of my comfort zone. And some, like looking back sometimes at my list, it's funny, like some are really, minor and some were actually really life-changing and led me to where I am now. But yeah, it was something that I still live by, and I really try constantly think about how I can do something that's out of my comfort zone and challenge myself. And yeah, it's led me to some really interesting places.
Awesome. Yeah. And is there an example that you remember where you were like, oof, this was a big one that I took that taught me a lot?
Yeah, there's a lot.
One a week is big, Nat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a lot. There was one that I'm really proud of was, I'd never done anything really in terms of solo travel. Like I'd never done anything really by myself, but I took a leap and just decided to book a 3-month solo trip around Europe. And yeah, some of my friends thought I was a little crazy at the time. But yeah, I only planned the first 2 weeks, which was a kind of a program. And so I got to meet some people through that avenue. And then I had 0 plans and I loved it.
That is so bold.
It was very not me at the time.
Yes.
To be very unplanned.
How did you go with that on the fly, just deciding where you wanted to go?
I loved it. I loved it so much. Like I just got, a train pass and I just, jumped around and I met amazing people and just great experiences. And it taught me a lot. It taught me a lot about myself and just being brave and resilient and
knowing that you can just figure stuff out when you need to, hey?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And what was was your favourite place that you travelled to?
I loved Portugal.
Gorgeous.
And then I did a group trip actually to Scandinavia. So we went around Norway and Sweden. And that was in winter time. So it was beautiful.
So stunning. Yeah. Oh, what an incredible opportunity. Just taking 3 months and figuring it out. That's big.
Exploring. Yeah. So that was a good leap. And then another leap, was when I guess I was doing a lot of networking in between when I was starting to explore opportunities and, put myself out there, took myself to different events and lots of networking, reaching out to people. But yeah, there was personal and kind of work-related leaps. But yeah, it was something I really enjoyed doing for that year or so.
So this position that you were in previous to Kismet, you were there for a while, 4.5 years. And so having been in that position, how did you decide, okay, I'm done with this chapter, I'm ready for something new? Yeah,
I'd been really fortunate there to move into many different areas of the business, I guess, and different roles and had amazing exposure there. I was pulled into lots of different leadership opportunities. So I felt like I got a really great, well-rounded experience. It did probably hit the point where I was pretty burnt out and I was really just starting to think about what's next. I wanted a challenge, a different kind of challenge. And I was starting to explore and think more about the tech space and the startup world, and was quite passionate about finding something right. And I just felt at that time I couldn't fully invest into finding that perfect right opportunity while I was there. So I actually decided to have a bit of a break and take that time off work to just really find what it is exactly that I want to do.
Was that an odd transition for you?
Very. Yeah, very. I went from working very long hours, very hard for many years to just nothing. As in work-wise, I ended up taking 5 or so months off. And in that time, I was really focused on exploring different avenues and finding exactly what it is that I wanted to do and finding that right opportunity. I did a few courses during that time, did kind of a finance course, and then I did the Startmate, which we spoke about. Startmate Women's Fellowship, which was great, and that's where I started learning about, I guess, what some of the different roles like in the startup space were. I'd never heard of a chief of staff, and just also some of the different companies to be thinking about, and just great networking. It was a really good opportunity. So I found that time, it was weird in the sense going to almost no structure. But it was really good for me.
How did you manage that for yourself? Did you set a structure for yourself, or did you sort of decide, okay, I'll do 2 hours of focused attention here, and then the rest of the day I'll focus on being outside, socializing, whatever it was? Like, were you able to approach it in a way that was a little less intense than the environments you'd been in previously?
It was definitely a lot less intense, but I did set structure in the in the yeah, otherwise I think I would have gone a little bit crazy. But I also enjoyed like taking life a bit slower, and it was nice. And yeah, my parents were thought I was mental, and had no idea what I was doing. I was like, trust me, I know what I'm doing, and I'm going to work it out. And I'm quite big on vision boards and manifesting, and I just knew what eventually when I'd had my heart set on what I wanted to do, I was like, I'm going to wait because I know I'm not just going to jump into any opportunity. I'm waiting for, like, I'm hustling to find the right one. And yeah, I found Kismet.
That's so great because it's scary when you've been in an environment where you're earning consistent money, you have a consistent schedule, you've been doing the same type of work for a number of years. It's scary.
Yeah.
And I'm not surprised that your mum and dad were like, oh,
What are you doing?
what are you doing?
Yeah.
So how did you come to be at Kismet then? What did that look like? Because it's a less traditional way of finding a role. Can you tell us about that?
So. Yeah. So, I guess as I was saying in that time off, I had really gone deep into what is it that I value in a workplace and in a career, and what is it that I'm, what do I see my future at, 5-10 years down the track? Where do I want to be? And so I'd kind of honed into the tech startup space, but in particular, I was really passionate about wanting to move somewhere in healthcare. And I did a lot of networking, and I heard about Kismet and Mark, our CEO, and the founders. And I started looking into their history with Explore, and listened to quite a few podcasts of Mark. And I just loved the way that they spoke about the vision and what they were setting out to do. And at this point, Kismet had been around for about a year. And yeah, I was really, really excited about how they were talking about what they were working towards. I guess one of my leaps, I think I was getting quite invested in their journey almost. And I was like, no, I just need a message. I just need to message one of them. So I drafted a message to Mark, and that was 2 years ago pretty much to the day. I had a look at it the other night.
Did you?
Yeah. It's quite a funny little message. But yeah, Justin, my husband, actually was like pushing me. He's like, come on, you're talking about this, like go message. So sent a message, and I could not believe he actually responded. I was not expecting
Mark famously does not check his LinkedIn messages. So it's pretty amazing that came about.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I got lucky, like timing and it all worked out. But yeah, he responded, and I remember like instantly checking his Calendly that he'd sent me. And Justin was like, oh, he's got a time slot tomorrow. Like, go see him. But I gave Mark like a day or two. And then, we caught up, and we really just clicked quite instantly, and we're very aligned in the way we were talking about work, careers, this space, and kind of went from there, met the rest of the founders, and I started, I think, a few weeks later. Yeah.
Wow. And so what is it about healthcare particularly that you were so focused on wanting to move into? Why were you interested in that?
Yeah. Well, in particular, actually, the disability space, and at that time, that was the main focus of Kismet. It's just an area I've always been passionate about, wanting to help in the community with. Like growing up through school, went on camps with young adults and children with disabilities, special needs, and there was an organisation that I was part of and was volunteering with, and had just been kind of exposed to the disability space from a range of different avenues, and it was just somewhere that I knew really needs change and people to bring in positive change and impact. And just more broadly, I think there's so much that can be done in aged care and healthcare more broadly, like a project we're working on at Kismet at the moment with myself and one other person is this new product, which is how we can actually, in allied health, how we can make sure that people are getting the access they need when they need it, because that's such a huge problem at the moment. So it was an area that I just felt like we can have a significant impact, especially from a tech angle.
Yeah. I imagine it's a good fit in the way that things move quickly.
Yeah.
And you seem very committed to making change and pushing things forward. And so I imagine that's a good combo as someone who's used to working really hard and making things happen and being outcome driven.
Yeah.
That having a business and a company and a culture like Kismet where it's like, move it, let's go, break things, fix it, move it along, 100%. Kind of keep going. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I knew when I was like exploring different startups, like that was so important for me, that the founders, I think, in these organizations, it's really how they've set it up and how they operate. And I loved how they spoke about, the pace in which we move is is next level. But I love that. And I've kind of always had that execution mindset. I set really high standards for myself. So it was like I needed to be somewhere that kind of had that same level of performance and standards that we're all holding ourselves, right, to this super high level. And we have, huge goals and a huge mission. And I love that we're just on this journey together and everyone's driving towards that outcome.
Yeah. So you mentioned earlier that you're a big intention setter, vision boarder. Can you tell me about that? Because it's something that's not something that I have really done before. And I'm really curious why people who do that, why you like it. How does that work for you? What does it look like for you? I'm really curious.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I think I've gone through different phases and ways of doing that. And more recently, probably the last 2 years, I've set like visual, like proper vision boards of images and things like that I'm really wanting to bring in for the year. And this year's been interesting one. Like I can already see a lot of what I had kind of manifested is starting to come to fruition. And I think I'm just quite a visual person and putting it out there in the world that kind of, I really do believe in it and feel like it does something that actually, or even if it's just like putting pen to paper and putting your goals down. Sometimes it's even just, I found like just telling someone, because then it's not just, these internal thoughts, but if you actually start to say or tell someone what it is that you're wanting to achieve or what you're going to do, I just feel like that action of putting it out there in the world. Maybe it's also that it holds you a bit more accountable.
For sure.
I've said that and now I'm gonna follow through.
I better have an update.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's super interesting. There's a lot to be said, I think, about the power of speaking those things out loud. And also you never know what can come back around once you say those things out loud, right?
Yeah.
Where if you're expressing an idea or a direction that you're hoping to go down, I imagine that you would have done a lot of curating and honing of that during your networking phase, pre-Kismet, of knowing what that pitch looks like, knowing how to have those conversations so that you get access to networks or introductions that would be useful for you, right?
Yeah, 100%. I think like in that time, I realized it was really important for me to explain and what exactly it was I was looking for in that company, because then people actually would think of, they would maybe hear something and think of me, and I would get messages like months later of, I remember you said this, let me connect you to this person. And I think it is important to put that out there, and people can't read your minds, right? Like you've got to,
totally,
you do have to say what you're thinking sometimes.
Yeah. So where do you think this really strong desire to make movements in a really significant way and sort of drive strategy and drive outcomes, where do you think that comes from? Because it feels like a subtle but very like strong burn there. And I'm really curious where that kind of comes from.
Yeah, it's a good question. I don't really know. Like, I mean, my parents are both have always been very driven and have always worked hard. Just growing up, I've always kind of been around that really just hardworking, goal-oriented mindset around me. And probably my first workplace is when I was just exposed and around that super high-performing caliber of people that were all super driven. And maybe it started there. I kind of think it started earlier in uni. I always just did have this desire to make an impact, and I was never going to be someone that was just a number at a large company and kind of hiding behind other people or, often doing my own thing. I very much knew that I wanted to be in a position where I can make change and have an impact. And it kind of happened naturally in the sense that I was often pulled into those leadership positions and identified as maybe someone who could take on a bit more of a challenge or take on extra responsibility. And that, so that was always a great opportunity that was given to me that I didn't often put my hand up for, but ended up showing me that that's where I could add the most value. And that's something I'm really loving in my role now and at Kismet. And I think everyone at Kismet is a leader in their own right. And we've got a small team and empower everyone to be leaders. But I really do feel that I can genuinely make an impact here and that I am. And that's just something that was always important for me in my next role and career.
Can you talk to me about your experience with mentors and role models throughout your career? Because you had mentioned that there's been some pretty significant people along the way that have really been able to guide your skills, I suppose. But I'm really curious how your relationship with role models and mentors has been and what that's done for your career and how you found that.
Yeah, it's an interesting one because I think I never kind of went out looking for mentors or role models. They did happen naturally, and I think that's almost the best way because you do, you find someone that you really align with and gel with, and they see sometimes a potential in you that you don't see in yourself. And I've tried to, that's something that I am really trying to do for other people as well, and try spot talent or spot potential that maybe help them maybe see that, because I've found a lot of people have done that for me in my career. But yeah, I've had a few amazing mentors throughout the journey, and who still, some that now live overseas that I still keep in touch with. I'm really lucky at my last workplace. I worked with Simone, who's our Chief Performance Officer. She's always been an amazing mentor to me. And then we both moved over to Kismet.
It's so great that happened. I do love that.
Very lucky, yeah. And Mark is an amazing mentor to all of us. But, I also have found that he's pushed me into opportunities that I haven't always felt ready for, but he's thought that I could do it, and having those people that do believe in you, and it's really important. So I think if everyone kind of has that mindset, we're always thinking for other people, how can I bring them up or along the journey, how can I, it's that kind of, remember learning at some point, like having almost like one arm up, one arm down, like, so pulling someone as you go maybe up the ladder or up to another role, like pulling someone up with you.
Oh, I like that visual.
Yeah. So I guess always I'm trying to consciously be identifying that in other people as well, and always trying to spot potential. But yeah, so mentor's an interesting one.
Can you talk to me about how that move into the exec position happened? Because that's not the role that you started out in, right?
I changed roles a little bit. When I first met Mark, we spoke about the chief of staff role, and I came in and started as the kind of head of people and culture, which was a great way to really just jump into Kismet and understand the business, understand the team, set up some different processes, and then quite quickly we transitioned into that chief of staff role. And then, Mark approached me about the COO role, which I was not at all expecting, but it's been an amazing kind of jump. And I think it actually was a really natural transition from the chief of staff role. So there were a lot of similarities. Now it's a lot more of a defined responsibility, but the chief of staff role, I think, set me up really well for that. But it has been, quite a big jump and a journey. I can't believe, nearly 2 years at Kismet, but it's,
wow.
It's just, I feel very, very privileged and lucky to be here and work with the amazing team.
How do you feel about how do you manage the responsibility of that position? Because, we're a small team, but as you mentioned, movement is happening all the time. We're making really big movements always. And I'm really curious how, obviously, you've had a huge amount of experience in high pressure environments for many years, but I'm curious if it feels different for you being in an exec position now.
Yeah, it does. And I put a lot of pressure on myself, so I hold myself to a very high standard. But it does feel like a different level of pressure, which I think is a good thing. And I just want to do constantly the best I can and make the greatest impact, and make sure now that I'm responsible for different parts of the business, make sure that the teams there feel supported, and that the day-to-day ops of the business is running smoothly, and that we're actually growing in a scalable way. So that's really important. I do feel a lot of pressure, and there's always going to be imposter syndrome. I think it's natural. So just working through that and having to kind of remind myself that, and I think it's with everyone, right? You've sometimes just got to remind yourself you've worked hard to get to where you are, and that you've been moved into areas because people, as I mentioned, like have seen that potential, and sometimes you've just got to kind of quiet the voices in your head.
And ask for help if you need it, right? Like the team is so good about being accessible and so willing to jump in and just put boots on the ground and help wherever needed, which must be helpful it's helpful for me, I know personally, but I imagine that it's helpful just in general from an exec perspective to go, I've got a really great, like the rest of the execs are so fantastic, and having that tight-knit team, that exec team around you must be useful as well, right?
Yeah, and we're super close, and I know like everyone will jump in and help in different parts of the business whenever needed.
You mentioned earlier that you feel really lucky to be in this position.
Yeah.
And I want to talk to you about luck because you've obviously worked incredibly hard to be here. But what are your thoughts on luck in general? How do you feel about it?
Yeah, luck's an interesting one, and it's something I actually have struggled with a little bit because I think there's two parts to it, right? Like there's parts of your life you don't control, where you were born, how you grew up, there's some elements there that are out of your control, and then there is a part of luck, and I do feel really lucky and grateful in that regard. But then there's another part of luck that I think you do create your own luck, and I've heard actually other Kismet members on your podcast mention things like the energy you put out into it, and I really do agree with that a lot of what you put out is what you'll get back. But yeah, I think in terms of creating your own luck, I think that's a big part of it too. And I think you can't just sit around like people sitting around hoping good things happen or that they'll get lucky. It doesn't work like that, and you have to put in the right steps or to be in the right places, have the right conversations, and then things might then fall into place and feel lucky, but you've actually put in the steps to get there. So yeah, no, I generally do feel lucky and I'm really grateful. Yeah. How do you feel about luck?
It's so interesting. I really do chop and change because I do really agree with you. I do think that it's that classic thing, and I think I've said it on the show before, where it's timing meets preparation. And I think there's definitely, that's why I think it's really important to, even if you're not exactly sure about things how can I phrase this? If you're working towards something new, I think it's really important to continue to work towards something new, even if you're feeling shit about it, because you never know what, as you said, what putting that energy, what putting that time, what putting that focus into. It might not even be this thing. So like learning guitar, or I don't know, going to the gym or something, really basic. That can teach you a lot about what you want, and it can teach you a lot about how you focus your energy, how you focus your mind, where you put your time, and that can have ripple effects. And I think that if we can be open to listening a little more, to allow things to come in, then I think that we can have those meeting of minds, like have those meeting of opportunities, have that meeting of energy. And even if it doesn't look exactly like you thought it would, go for it anyway.
Yeah.
Because that's probably, with all the woo that happens, with all the kismet of it all, I think it just sort of puts you in a position that is going to lead you somewhere else. So I think it's important. I think luck is, it's because then Ross had said, he was like, well, then if you believe in luck, then do you also believe in being unlucky? But I don't know if I necessarily subscribe to unluckiness.
Yeah, it's a bit of it's a mindset thing as well, right? And I think, I agree with what you were saying, and just being open-minded and like allowing opportunities to come your way. Yeah, being kind of open to new things. I think that's a big part of it. And I think people who maybe consider themselves lucky do probably have some similar traits, that they are more open-minded potentially, or just welcome kind of opportunities.
Yeah, it's interesting because I would consider my brother lucky. He's just had something about him forever where he wins raffles, things work out for him, but he's very good at being open, and I don't even think it's necessarily he's not even necessarily conscious of it, but he's very good at, he was with us last week. He will chat with anybody. He will meet someone on the street who has a whippet, and then 20 minutes later he'll come and find us because he's had a massive yarn with them. And he'll figure out that person goes to the same gym as him, knows another person, and then he'll end up creating some kind of connection or network or opportunity for himself because he's just genuinely curious and interested in people.
Yeah, I love that.
And so I think that's really interesting because on the one hand, I'm like, oh, Benny's pretty lucky. Like, he's a pretty lucky dude. But then on the other hand, I think, well, he's putting himself in these positions. Yeah. He's making himself available to these conversations, not expecting for anything to happen. And I think that's maybe the difference, is that what is your expectation? What is your mindset going into certain things? And if you have one expectation, it might sort of cut you off And so having, just being open and maybe being a little more general with curiosity and playing with curiosity, I think that can really lead you down areas that can be really interesting.
Yeah, I love that. Totally. Yeah, I completely agree. And actually, as you were talking about your brother, I was thinking my mum's so similar that she also will talk to anyone on the street. She'll never say no to a single opportunity. And yeah, I'd consider her like lucky, like hilarious things will happen and fall into her lap, or she'll win something. And but it is like it's opening yourself and putting yourself out there and being curious. So I think there's a lot to kind of take from those. You know, if you do look at those people that like maybe are perceived as luckier, like what are some of those traits that maybe we can all take a little bit from, or so
I love that. Mama Mendel, we've just got to like keep our eyes on her. So I'd love to have a chat about something very fun personally that happened for you recently. You got married.
I did.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Did you have a great time?
It was the best. I loved like every second. Wouldn't change a thing. It was so beautiful.
Is it very weird now that you don't have that split focus of having this very intensive full-time job and then having this very intensive full-time job of planning a wedding?
Yeah, not gonna lie, would not really. No. Look, planning a wedding was fun, but it was a lot on top of a Kismet job. So yeah, quite happy to be like on the other side of it. We just had the best time. Yay. So like 3 months married now.
Wow. Beautiful. Yeah. And how many you had? Was it quite big, right?
Yeah, 300 and something.
Oh, that's so many people.
It's a lot. Yeah.
How did you manage that amount of people on the day? That's a lot.
Yeah. Gosh, I mean, you can't really talk to everyone. Like, you do your best, but we just had so much fun. The energy was amazing. Like, people were just dancing all night. It was really, really fun.
So fun. And how did you meet Justin, your husband?
We met on Hinge.
How good.
Oh, gosh, on a dating app.
I love that.
Yeah, so we met actually just over 2 years ago. So, not too long ago. But, yeah, it's been a special journey, and he's, like, my biggest supporter. So
that's awesome. Way to go.
Yeah.
Way to go, Justin.
Oh, he'll love the shout out.
Oh, that's so good. We're stoked to have you on the pod, Justin. That's awesome. I'm glad to know that you're over the other side and that, did you feel like you needed to have a bit of decompression time after that? Did you go on a honeymoon?
We haven't yet. We're thinking about it. Delayed honeymoon, maybe end of the year, do something. We love to travel, but with both of our jobs at the moment, it's a little challenging. But yeah, we'll do something at some point.
That's great.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. You talked earlier about the allied health direction and that's a really great focus that you're interested in right now. And I'm curious, outside of that, what are you excited about at work right now? What's going on?
Oh, wow. There's so many exciting opportunities at the moment. Yeah, I think in that allied health space, that's part of it, but really we're looking at how can we get people the care they need when they need it. So more broadly than allied health, it's really any kind of healthcare service. So working on a project and a new kind of product there, and then stepping more into the customer experience side of the business this year in my new role has been great, and just really diving deep into all things customer and how are we delivering the best possible service that we can. So we are like relentless on driving really hard with our automation in that space for it to be truly as minimal admin as possible. And we want to focus on how are we actually going above and beyond for our customer rather than them having to call us with an issue. We're actually calling them proactively, right? This is our whole vision with CX. And we're not 100% there yet, but we're on the journey, and the team's really striving towards that end goal of, it's all about unreasonable hospitality and how we can just deliver that exceptional service in every single touch point. Yeah, I'm just excited about, every part of there's so many elements going on at Kismet that are super exciting right now. Yeah.
So Mark did ping me before this chat and he was Carina, you've got to chat to Nat about if she wears her shoes inside. Why did he bring that up.
Oh my God. Okay. Wait, can I ask you, do you take your shoes off at the front door?
Yes, I do.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I do.
I was really hoping I shouldn't have asked you that.
I'm so sorry. I do. I'm a big stickler on it, especially with two small people in my life, with my kiddos. I've been like that pre-kids where I'm like, I don't want my outside shoes on my carpet or on my tiles.
Oh, you're stitching me up.
I'm sorry. I actually thought that.
That is so funny. Yeah, so Mark and the team like discovered that I wear shoes inside, and they found that to be like the most bizarre concept. And I still don't really think it's that weird. But I thought it was like that was actually really standard, and then every exec was pretty much like, no, Nat, you're on your own. It's very weird. So yeah, I still do wear. Even this morning, I was asked the question. Lauren asked me, do I wear shoes on the couch? I'm like, no, I'm not a psycho. Like, but
no, I draw the line. Yeah.
Like, I don't wear them on the bed or the couch, but like, yeah, I'll wear shoes in the kitchen. Sue me.
He was like, you got to talk to her about it. Like, you should have your shoes off. And I was like, Mark, I did not prepare to have no shoes on today. I did not wear my cute socks. But he was like, have your shoes off. She'll hate it.
So funny. So funny. Yeah, see, he wouldn't even like allow shoes in here. It's carpet.
Yeah, I know.
It's an odd one to me.
I have a friend who I love dearly, and he lives in New York, and he has outside clothes and inside clothes. So he's a massive sticker where he's like, I cannot wear the same clothes that I have worn on the subway on my bed or on my couch.
Oh, see, I'm a bit funny like that. Like, I don't have like, it's not full inside outside clothes, but I don't like to wear like my clothes on the bed or couch if I've been out in the day. But that's quite full on maybe to have like full two separate.
Oh yeah, he's massive clean freak. Like
that,
he's a little well, look, to be fair, there's a number of germs that exist there are higher.
Subways.
Yeah. But that's really interesting. Okay. There you go. There you go, Mark.
Yeah. You should maybe start like bring that in as a podcast question to every guest.
Do you take your shoes off?
Maybe it apparently tells a lot about a person.
Well, I didn't think it would be so divisive. That's so funny.
Yeah, neither.
Yeah. Do you have pets?
No, my family have a beautiful dog who I love, but no, Justin and I don't. We'd love to at some point.
Yeah.
But maybe that changes things when, we don't have kids or dogs or cats.
But I'm curious, when you grew up with your family dog, did you have like family dog on the bed? Were you like a dog in the bed kind of?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were like, at the start it was very much no couch, no bed. She's so cute. So it was like, oh, come on up.
You're part of the family.
Yeah. Exactly. No, that feels too strict. I don't think I will be able to like set those rules with my future animals.
It's so funny. Okay, great. This was a really helpful. I think you're right. I think I'll start asking this question from now on because I think it's a really great opportunity to get a glimpse into how someone moves throughout the world.
Yeah.
It's useful. Well, we've come to our closing questions.
Okay.
And so, well, before we get there, is there something in particular at the moment outside of work that you can't stop thinking about or that you're really into or interested in? Or I know it's so busy right now and that there's not really a huge amount of that stuff right now, but what's bringing you joy outside of work?
Yeah, honestly at the moment outside of work, it's really the small things are really just simple, but I just love spending time with my friends and family and with Justin, go for walks or go see a movie, try new restaurants, that kind of thing. But it's pretty low key. Because I'm also trying to, on the weekend sometimes take it a little bit slower. And yeah, I must say as well, like because I've always been working in something that I'm really passionate about, I never truly switch off. Like I'm always kind of excited thinking about more opportunities and things we can be doing. So my mind's just constantly kind of ticking on what more we can do.
Yeah. Do you remember the most recent movie that you saw?
Oh gosh.
Putting you on the spot, sorry.
Yeah. Oh, I saw Wuthering Heights.
Oh, I was just talking to Nadine about this earlier.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I haven't seen it. Did you like it?
It was like, yes, but odd. I'm trying to think. I think I must have seen something else more recently.
That was pretty recent. That was only in February. Yeah. Oh yeah, Valentine's Day was the release date.
Great cast.
Such a great cast. Okay, did you read the book?
No, I haven't.
I tried. Okay, we were chatting about this earlier today because I have tried to read Wuthering Heights on 3 different occasions. Oh. I cannot get through it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just really wanted to read it before seeing the movie and haven't finished either. But Yeah, okay. So did you enjoy it? Was it a little weird?
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it, but it was very weird. I'm very excited for the Colleen Hoover books to come out as movies. I loved her books. And so far, the movies have been excellent.
Great. Okay, I love this for you. Colleen Hoover? I'm going to live Google. Colleen Hoover. Oh, right. Oh, my gosh. Okay, so we won't even talk about It Ends With Us because it's way too hot button.
Drama.
Yeah, interesting. What do you like about her books?
Oh, they're just like quite twisted and unexpected. Yeah, me and my friends like all love the books. We just kind of pass them around, and everyone loves talking about them. But yeah, they're all a little bit weird and twisted, unexpected.
I love that. That kind of, yeah.
Actually, no. Am I thinking about Freida McFadden? I'm mixing them up. That's terrible.
Yes.
But hers are the ones that are a bit twisted. I love Colleen Hoover books, but Freida McFadden books are the ones that are like they're a bit more.
Okay, so she's just come out recently with her identity.
Yes.
Did you see this?
Yeah.
Okay.
She wears a wig.
Yes.
But...
Okay, so for those who don't know, Freida McFadden has been living a double life. It's so funny to me that this like incredibly successful author apparently has a very normal muggle job, like regular human job.
Yeah.
And so whenever she does press tours, she wears a wig and glasses to maintain her anonymity.
So good.
I'm so here for her commitment to that bit.
It's a bit like Hannah Montana.
Yes.
Double life. Yeah.
I love it so much. So she's recently come out as Sarah Cohen. That's her real name. And she is, oh my gosh, she's in the medical industry.
Yeah, science, medical.
She's like a brain. Okay, I'm going to fact check this because
she's super impressive.
She's unbelievably impressive. Oh my gosh, you're right. Yeah, because she just recently did The Housemaid, which I got to be honest, I didn't like it.
Loved it.
Did you?
But I preferred the book. Her books are really amazing.
I haven't seen the movie yet.
You didn't love the book?
I didn't love the book.
Really?
I just wanted her to get a move on. That first half, I was like, oh my God, I get it. She's going to get stuck. Spoiler alert. She's going to get stuck in the room.
Fair,
like we can see it coming. Can we get there? Like what's happening? And I also was frustrated that I really wanted him to get his comeuppance, but I felt like it wasn't. I wanted more tension from that. And I also have big feelings about, this is probably getting way too, I'm getting way too on my, like, it all felt a little too convenient that she was able, because I didn't bother reading the sequels because I was like, what, you're just going to go around now killing people's husbands who are treating them badly? Like, sure.
It's a bit dramatic.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. Okay, I really want to understand. I just want to quickly fact check this. What's her actual job? Sarah Cohen. She's a doctor who treats brain disorders.
Wow. And like best-selling author. Amazing.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I love that she has that she's got these two sides of her personality. She is Hannah Montana.
Yeah.
I'm so thrilled. I'm so thrilled that we figured that out. Okay, so what is one goal that you've got for yourself for the next 12 months? What are you super stoked about?
Oh, gosh. I have a lot. I mean, there's some work goals, personal goals. From a work perspective, one of them is around Health Pass, this new product. But yeah, doing kind of our launch very soon and getting that out there into the world. I'm very excited about that. But yeah, some big goals around that. And then personally, Justin and I are looking to buy a home.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Here in Melbourne?
Yes, in
Great.
Melbourne. So yeah, that's a personal goal. But yeah, otherwise I'm also trying to, as I say this, as I've said, I've got all these personal and work goals, but I'm also trying to be like a bit more in the moment and, you know, enjoy where I'm at, because I feel really grateful and excited about where I am right now, that I'm kind of put everything into this and, you know, not be kind of thinking about next steps all the time. And so it's more that like my goals are very much tied to kind of what I'm doing now, not about like super future focused, if that makes sense.
That does make sense. That's great, because it does seem like you had that focus for so long, right? So now just the focus is settling, being in it, enjoying what's happening right now, like reveling in that and what's happening.
And like and leadership, like personal, there's like a lot of leadership and personal goals in there that are about like how can I actually truly be the best I can be in this role, in this position, and you know, there's so much to learn from a leadership perspective, and I think you're never there. And yeah, I think for me, there's a big journey there, and I just want to kind of keep absorbing and learning from those around me, and be kind of the best leader that I can be. So that's a big goal and something that I'm constantly thinking about at the moment.
I love that. I love that so much. Okay, so you might have had a version of this happen at your wedding recently, but when so it's your 50th birthday and you have everybody there. Justin's there. Mama Mendel's there. Everybody, all of your favorite people. What do you hope is this through line when people are getting up and giving speeches about you? What do you hope that through line is about what people are saying about you and the impact that you've had on their lives?
Yeah. Gosh, I mean, I think ultimately about like who I am as a person, not about anything I've done, but it's really like that I show up and I care for people. And yeah, I'd say I'm pretty fiercely loyal to those around me. And I do, hope that, I guess at my 50th birthday that, that comes through, and that it's just that genuine care for others around me. Yeah. Love for others and for wanting people to succeed. Yeah.
And what about baby Nat? If you could hop on over there and take her hand, what would you want to say?
Oh gosh, probably to just not be so, tough on yourself throughout this journey, and you're going to make mistakes, and you'll find your path. And I think just to keep believing in yourself, and you'll chart your own path, and you can prove others wrong, or you don't have to kind of do what is expected of you. You can go off in different tangents or different, avenues, but you'll find your way, and you'll be really proud of yourself and what you've done, and the kind of,
the life that you built.
Yeah, I guess so. But probably ultimately just to chart your own path and back yourself.
Hell yeah. That's so great. Nat, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
It's been so lovely to have the opportunity to chat and learn more about who you are and your journey to get here, because it's a super interesting one. And you should be super proud of that journey and how hard you've worked and all of the really incredible work that you're doing at Kismet. It's really exciting, Nat.
Thank you. Thanks so much. It's been fun.
Yay.